Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies.
Congratulations.
There we go, I got it. Welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, and this episode, this is our journey. And this is, this is episode number 8 out of 12, it's a 12-part series.
Yes.
And this one is simply entitled, Our Journey. Renovations. You didn't have it's one whole thing.
I'm sorry.
Come on. It's our journey. Renovations. And so again, this is our series where we started way back on the first episode of this 12-part series, talking about how we went from cruise ships to art auctions to land, which is when you went into the insurance and then mortgage industry. And then I got off out of the art business, and we're like, what are we going to do? And somebody's like, you should do real estate. And so we said, hey, let's do real estate. And so what do we do when you want to do real estate? Well, you get your realtor's license. It's a good idea for 2008. Anyway, so then we talked about being realtors, and then we talked about going into real estate investing, and then we talked about all the different programs. We did mortgage assignments, short sales, sub-2 wraps, seller financing, wholesaling, and then turnkey.
We moved to Ohio.
Now we're in the beautiful state of Ohio, the hot spot vacation hotspot, that no one ever goes to for vacation. It's amazing, except for people from Ohio. And so we're here in Ohio, and we're now doing turnkey properties, which we talked about last episode.
Yep.
And now we come into a situation of we need to start a renovation company.
Yes.
And we knew that we needed to in a bad way. And having 2 bulldogs at home, we're like, well, what should we call it? I don't know. How about Bulldog Renovations, sir? And there you have it. Bulldog Renovations was born.
Yes. So this is a wild and crazy ride building a renovation company. I will tell you that this episode and tomorrow's episode are going to be the 2 companies that were among the hardest or more challenging to build. And we'll explain why as we go. So renovations, we were debating between, at first we started off with just building the team, right? So the reason that we decided to build the renovation company was because we were hiring contractors to do the rehabs, and we just didn't have somebody out there checking them. Sometimes they didn't show up. Sometimes they said they showed up. Sometimes they would send us a picture of a finished product. It wasn't finished. The work was just shoddy. So we needed somebody that was going to actually go out there and babysit them, make sure that they're actually doing what they said they were going to do. Unfortunately, in the contractor world, there's just not a lot of good souls out there. You have to find and pick through the big, huge haystack to find the good souls. So we went through a lot of bad souls in the very, very beginning.
You're being so polite.
And so we created the renovation company in order to put in place a team that would be going out there and creating the scope, walking the properties, checking to make sure the work is being done, approving the pay requests, all that type of stuff. So that's why we did it. And we went through quite a few project managers going through that because not that they weren't good souls, they just weren't as detailed or as on top of people as we would be.
Needed them to be.
Yeah, if we were in the position. If we were in the position, we're pretty, this is what you need to do, and if you don't do it, you don't get paid.
Yep.
That's just, it's very black and white for us.
Yep.
And so they weren't as detailed and as strict maybe as we would have been. So as we built that up, we did finally. Right now we have we brought him on. His name's Steve Maloney. If you work with us at any point in time, you're going to meet Steve. He came in as a project manager and ended up as a director of renovations, and now is like the vice president of our acquisitions.
I think there was director of innovations in there too somewhere. I don't know where that one came from, but I was like, oh, that's an interesting title.
Yeah.
But now he's vice president of acquisitions and
renovations. Yeah. So he's even now leading another department within our company. And this is actually a recent promotion for him. And we're super excited because that's the type of people that we want in our company, right? Is that people that come in and they treat this company like their own. And he's been a game changer for us. So that's kind of the story of why we created the renovation all the way up to where we are today. Now, some of the things that we tried out during this was, do we build the team and continue to have them hire subcontractors?
Right.
And so that was one strategy. another strategy in that box was, okay, do we have the team hiring subcontractors, but we pay for the materials instead of they pay for the materials?
Oh, I remember that nightmare.
And then the other variation was, do we test out bringing people in-house, meaning the contractors now work for us as employees, so we've got them, we can control where they go, what they do, and maybe that starts saving us money in terms of having to run places. And so all of those things were long chapters of experiments.
Yep.
We started with hiring the team to just manage subcontractors who bid labor and materials. They handled everything. Then we went to the phase 2 of, let's see about us, because we can buy in bulk, right? And we have this huge 15,000 square foot office. We purposely made sure there was a warehouse so that we could stock all the materials and we would save money. And then we would just pay them for labor. The mistake there was, how much work did it take for us to be buying all of those materials and stocking them in inventory and then getting them to the site? And it was like, oh, did not think about that.
Yeah, we didn't think that one through.
So we went back to the subcontractors paying for their own materials and just bidding it out. And when I say bidding it out, it's really Steve walking the property, doing the scope. He knows how much it is. He goes, hey, Mike, you want this property? This is how much I got budgeted for. Here's the scope work. Mike goes, yep, okay. Great.
Boom.
And then we move on. So that's been also a progress to get there, because it was contractors would go there and bid, the project manager would go there and create the scope of work, and it was just a cluster. In the middle of all of this, we created property standards to say, hey, these are the standards. You can't be doing this. This is the type of light we want. Don't buy the one on sale. That's crap, and then we have to replace in 3 months. So we went through all of that. And then the in-house experience of in-house contractors, it literally was babysitting to the 10th degree.
Oh my goodness.
Like it wasted so much of Steve's time to have to go there and teach them stuff and watch them and make sure they're actually doing it. And I never thought it had been that big of a nightmare. And when I started talking to people about it, they had the same story. And I wish I would have talked to a lot more people before we did it, because everybody had the same story. Not everybody, but most people have gone back to using subs. So we are back to how we started, but that's kind of what you do in business, is you explore all these different ways of doing things, because you're trying to improve the quality of the product, the quality of the people that work for you, the cost of everything that has to happen, so that you can either lower it for the end buyer, or you can buy more properties because the renovations are less. So when you have those small margins, you can make it work, and therefore our inventory grows and we can serve more people. There's all these things that you explore, and renovations was one of those ones that we explored 1 million of them.
Yes.
And it was crazy.
Because you don't know until you try.
Yes.
Yep.
But I think we have a really great system now. And if we really, really do maybe 5 times what we're doing now, I think everything will change in terms of whether we do a warehouse in bulk. And I think some of that might change, because then it becomes so much more cost effective across that much more product that the numbers make sense. But the numbers didn't make sense at the volume we were at when we tested it. So that's kind of the story of renovations for us.
Yeah. And I think the game changer was when we decided to do the property standards.
Yes.
Because, well, like we talked about in the last episode, what we're mainly focused on, our rice bowl, was turnkey properties.
Yeah.
And we wanted all the turnkey properties to be the exact same thing. So if one person bought one property, when they go to buy another one, they know exactly what it's going to be on the inside.
That's right.
And so we called it our Big Mac approach, because if you have a Big Mac over here and a Big Mac over here, guess what? It's still a Big Mac.
Yes.
Gosh, now I want a Big Mac. And so that helped out too, because not only did that help us out, it helped out the buyers, our investors out, but it also helps out a project manager, because he says, hey, you need to get lights and flooring for this house over here. He doesn't have to say, hey, you need to go over there and get the light model number 40, whatever. And plus the crew, now they don't have any questions about it. Oh, I got to go get lights and flooring. I know exactly what to get, because they only use one kind.
Yep.
And it's not the low end that's always on sale.
Exactly.
So,
which is what they were doing. They'd give us this bid and they'd go and get all this stuff on sale that was crap
stuff.
material.
Yeah, Pro-Choice.
Yeah, okay. Lesson learned.
Sorry, Lowe's. And so the pros, we've got more control. Now that we have the project manager, now that we have all this stuff. So we definitely have more control.
Absolutely. And now one of the pros is if we screwed it up, we fix it, right? Whereas before we were so dependent on people that were true vendors, had nothing to do with us, that we were relying on them to fix it. And then if they didn't, well, we just had to pay for another contract to do what the other contractor was supposed to do.
Oh, and they hate fixing other people's stuff.
Yes. It was a big, I won't say the bad word I was going to say, but so now that
it was a mess.
Yeah, we have these contractors that are just loyal to us. So they don't want to lose the volume of work that we're giving to them. And therefore, they're like, yeah, absolutely. Go back there. We'll fix it. We're on it.
And then, and I already said this, property standards. That changed the game.
Yes.
That really did.
That was a big one. Contractor pricing. So that has helped us a lot because of the volume. So we tell the contractors usually have to go out and find their work, right? They have to go talk to investors, bid the job, and it's a lot of work for them. When they work with us, they just work with us because we keep them busy the whole time. So because of that, their efforts of having to go out and the costs of that time to go out and get the work are down, which means we get the benefit of lower cost for the
So now
labor
is this
and
one a
materials.
con or is this a pro?
Actually, no. This is for tomorrow's episode.
Yeah,
Ignore it.
I was going to say that doesn't seem like
Ignore it. I was looking for that the other day. And I was saying, Danny, you wrote this somewhere. Where did you write it? And I went, we're going to find it when we're recording the episode.
That was neither a pro or a con.
No, that's for tomorrow. You want to hear it till tomorrow.
There we go. And so the cons, now we had to, building and hiring the right team. That we went through a lot of members and contractors. And I want to say this too.
Yeah.
I was a musician. I was a musician for many, many years.
Yeah.
Musicians are the craziest characters. Some of the most just out there people, right? And I love them to death. These contractors put those musicians to shame. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously? I can't even go into some of the stuff that we've seen out there.
Pretty crazy.
The guy stealing the water heaters, that guy, he's the top of my list. Anyway.
All right, and then the other con was testing in-house material purchases. That whole story that I told, it was it was a lesson learned. So I hate saying a con, but it did take a lot of time to test that theory, only to find out that what we started with was the right way to go.
I think that's both a con and a pro.
And a pro.
Because we got to test it
That's
out.
Right. That's absolutely right.
All right.
All right, we're going to end with our 5. Are you ready, Flip?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, risk tolerance.
With a renovations company, let me think. We're going to say yes.
Yeah, probably one of the most highest risks you can have.
Yeah.
Time availability.
You're going to need it. Yeah.
Yep, you have to babysit these guys. Do not trust. If you're going to hire somebody and you don't know them, go just visit the site and visit the site every day. Quite frankly, knowledge.
I know more things about building code now than I did 5 years ago. Let's just put it that way. So yes, you're going to need it.
Because contractors are going to tell you how it should be done, and they're not right.
Yeah, I love the house we walked into, and the outlets were all like 4 feet up from the floor. I'm like,
excuse me?
Even I know that one.
Inner circle.
You're going to need an inner circle, and it's a different inner circle than the last inner circles that we've needed, because now we need the inner circle of the knuckleheads that can repair the house.
Exactly.
I don't know
Help us avoid the bad guys.
That's how I'll call them, knuckleheads. That's the easiest way, nicest way to call it.
Access to capital.
With the renovations company, you're going to need it because there's going to be some broken eggs.
Yes, there is some broken, and contractors are more loyal to you the more you are more loyal to them.
Yes.
So we pay our guys every single Friday.
Yep.
There is no question mark.
Not one missed.
Because a lot of investors will not pay them, and it's okay not to pay them if they didn't do the work. But if they did the work, pay them. Otherwise, you're not going to get them back. So
actually, I want to say not one missed because of us.
Yes.
There was a bank issue one week, and I'll never forget it because I was just like, no, we have to pay them.
I know. We're really hardcore. Okay, so tomorrow is our next episode of this journey. Yep. And again, it's the other company that was one of the most challenging for us to build. And so tomorrow you're going to learn how we built our property management
This
company.
one's going to be colorful. I might have to get the beep button going for tomorrow's episode. Woo! Make sure you're heading on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join our investor club. But make sure, while you're listening to all these, make sure you're hitting the reviews and whatnots and hitting the like button. Oh, hit the like button if
you like our journey. I keep on saying.
There we go.
This is kind of a fun little series that we didn't even plan on doing. We just
our little walk down memory lane.
Yeah, a little Facebook post kind of prompted this whole thing.
And tonight I'm going to have nightmares of the renovation and property management companies. But make sure you hit the love button and the subscribe button and the bells and the whistles.
Yeah,
that
and
Danny
give us
always
reviews
talks
if
about.
we're bringing some value.
That's right. But we like to end all of our episodes with
Invest smart.
live happy.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group. Founders. I did it again. Founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group. Founders.
Cut.
Dork. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on this show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.